talking so much and listen.
You making it feel like I'm the fool.
Color of the baby and he's browning up.
I'm
and he
just
says,
saying, like-
you do understand.
Man,
What are we on, Game of Thrones?
trying to take care of a child that's not mine.
We already know you lying.
When they don't even know for certain if the baby is yours.
I don't have big ears like he does. His sticks out more.
Get ready, folks. The tea we've got today is hotter than a summer barbecue. We've got a sizzling case for you. Phi versus Henny. It's a tale of suspicion, paternity doubts, and a guy who thinks head shapes are the key to fatherhood. That's right, head shapes.
Mr. Phi, you have petitioned the court for paternity tests on the defendant's 2 children, 2-year-old Nathan and 8-month-old Samuel. Additionally, you have requested a lie detector test for the defendant because you claim her infidelity has not only created paternity doubt, but has destroyed your relationship. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Phi is doubting he's the daddy of not one, but 2 kids, 2-year-old Nathan and 8-month-old Samuel. And get this, he's also demanding a lie detector test for Miss Henny because he's convinced her past infidelity has thrown a wrecking ball into their relationship. Drama alert.
Every day. And, you know, it kind of hurts me because as they got older, the kids don't look like me.
They do look exactly like
They don't look like me. I mean, Nathan, he's got different futures than what I have. And, you know, little Sammy, he kind of looks more like Nathan too. They both look alike, and, you know, little Sammy's got my full name.
Now, Miss Henny, on the other hand, is standing her ground, claiming she's 100% sure Mr. Phi is the father of both kids. But Mr. Phi wasn't having any of it. He claimed that even though the kids called him daddy, they looked nothing like him. And folks, he's not talking about the typical eye color or nose shape. No, he's talking about head shapes.
Has caused you to doubt.
Yes, Your Honor.
Explain.
I was gone away for 45 days, and when I came back, people, even friends, told me that she was messing around with a guy from the neighborhood.
We were not messing around.
That's not what my friends told me, but when I confronted the gentleman about it, he came, you know, I was on the phone with him, and he told me they did mess around twice. Well, when I confronted her about it,
Mr. Phi is convinced that because he has an oval-shaped head and his ears are glued to his head, there's no way he could father a kid with a blockhead and ears that have a dip in them. I mean, come on! That sounds wrong any way you look at it. Who's going to burst his bubble, guys?
Explain to me why you doubt.
I have an oval-shaped head, okay, Your Honor? My ears are close to my head. He has a block head. A block head. I mean, his ears have a dip in them. I don't have none of them.
I'm sorry, but I have dips in my ears. He has my ears.
I don't have big ears like he does. His sticks out more, and he has that block head. I don't have a block head. Mine's more of an oval shape.
But wait, there's more! Mr. Phi's got friends telling him Miss Henny was cozying up with a neighborhood guy while he was away for 45 days. And not just any guy, a former friend of Mr. Phi's. Ouch! That's gotta sting! Miss Henny admits to one slip-up, but Mr. Phi is convinced it's more like 4 hard falls. He's found text messages, and he's not buying her just friends defense. Talk about trust issues.
And you've seen this other man enough to be able to compare?
Yes, he used to be a close friend of mine.
Oh. Miss Henny, how did you end up sleeping with your boyfriend's close friend?
Our kids hung out. When he went away for that 45 days, we were hanging out with our kids, and it didn't start out that way, but it's just one thing led to another,
And here's where it gets even juicier. Mr. Phi signed the birth certificates, but now he's having second thoughts. He wants his name off the birth certificates if those results say he's not the father.
it was his idea to name the baby after him to keep that name going on.
So, Mr. Phi, you signed the birth certificate, so what's the big deal about your name? You're still the legal father.
Today, if I find out the kids ain't mine, I want, you know, Samuel John Phi IV, I want his name taken from him. And Nathan, I want my last name pulled from the birth certificate.
And he's not just talking about a little whiteout action. He wants a full-blown name redaction if he's not the father. The tension in the courtroom was insane as everyone waited for the result. Nathan's birth certificate is up first. Mr. Phi is legally registered as the father, but will the DNA results match? And then there's Samuel, carrying the heavy title of Samuel John Phi IV. But Mr. Phi was actually against giving his supposed son his name. But Miss Henny wanted it, and boy did she go for it. The plot thickens.
And you are not this children's biological father, this relationship is over.
Correct.
Or if the lie detector proves that Ms. Henny is not telling the truth,
Then it's done between us.
then the relationship is over as well.
Correct.
Ms. Henny, were you in a relationship with this other guy for a while?
No, we were not in a relationship.
And you still continue only slept with him that one time?
Yes.
Miss Henny is standing her ground, insisting she's done nothing wrong and that the kids are his, no question. She's even got the birth certificates to prove he signed off on daddy duty. But wait, there's a twist! We've got a lie detector test in the mix, and it's ready to spill all the tea on Miss Henny's past escapades. Will it confirm Mr. Fye's suspicions, or will it clear Miss Henny's name once and for all?
Mr. Fye, you are the father.
Who does it look like who?
I apologize for that. Now let's see Sammy.
The results are in, and everyone's on the edge of their seats. Will Mr. Fye's head-shape theory hold up? Is Miss Henny's confession the whole truth? The judge is ready to reveal the truth about 2-year-old Nathan and then 8-month-old Samuel. These results will either bring this family back together or be the final nail in the coffin for their relationship. The stakes couldn't be any higher.
Mr. Fye, you are the father.
Change what name?
I apologize for that.
Yeah.
Miss Davis just swooped into court with a 1-month-old baby and a story that's got more twists than a pair of wired headphones. She's claiming that Mr. Ham, who she knew for just 2 months, is the daddy of her little one. But wait for it. She's also suing him for $1,500 for baby shower gifts. Yeah, you heard that right.
Miss Davis, you claim you got pregnant with Mr. Ham's child after knowing him for only 2 months. You've petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove that Mr. Ham is the father of your 1-month-old baby, Jarrell Ham Jr. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're suing him for $1,500 for the cost of the baby shower gifts that you say Mr. Ham took from you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Ham wasn't having any of it. He was convinced he wasn't the father because, get this, Miss Davis was juggling not 1, but 2 other men. And here's the kicker. She's still technically married to another guy. Forget love triangles. This one's a legit love square.
That's where we agreed to go to the lake. When I pull up at the lake, she got a whole crowd of people surrounding her car. So as I get closer, Miss Davis then comes and approaches my car. We start having a conversation. As me and Miss Davis having a conversation, one of her female friends comes up to the car and say, well, your boyfriend is getting upset due to the fact that you over here disrespecting him by talking to another man.
Did you remember someone coming up to you and saying
No,
your boyfriend's
nobody came
mad?
up to me. Nobody came up to me because it wasn't my boyfriend.
The judge is trying to make sense of this mess, and Mr. Ham starts off with a story that sounds straight out of a rom-com. He says they met because they had the same car, just different colors. If that's not fate, I don't know what is. But it wasn't all daisies and roses because apparently Miss Davis was surrounded by a whole squad when they met up, and one of her friends accused her of disrespecting her boyfriend by chatting up Mr. Ham. Yeah, she was seeing someone else at the time.
So if your testimony, Mr. Ham, she had more than one boyfriend.
Yes, Your Honor, and she's married too, and she's still technically married now. She's not divorced now, she's still technically married. And she had 2 boyfriends too. So this is why I'm in a point where, okay, this can't really be my child due to the fact that she had all these boyfriends, and then at the end of the day, I come to find out she's married too.
Miss Davis admits she had a boyfriend and a husband she was separated from. But Mr. Ham, he claims she had 2 boyfriends, and she still slept with him on the second day they met. Fast mover, huh? Well, so is he.
She got in the car with me, and we left that same day, and we had unprotected sex
the
that
second
same day.
Go ahead,
We had sex that same day. And after we had sex that day, we was like peas, she was on my heels, we was together.
No, actually, how
I
can you
couldn't
be
get
with
rid of her.
somebody after 2 days of knowing them? How can you be with somebody?
You
didn't even
slept
know
with me the first day.
You didn't even. So what? You had.
So what? But you just
did
said it was the
too.
second day.
Okay, look, you had unprotected.
And I'm not lying. Yeah, we did.
At
The
end of
first day I
day,
met you.
How
I'm
can
not
you be
lying
in a
about
relationship
that.
with somebody you just met?
Now here's where it gets even spicier. Mr. Ham's family throws a baby shower, and all the gifts end up at his house. Miss Davis leaves the shower with nothing but a few gift cards and a check. Mr. Ham's reason? He wasn't sure the baby was his, so why give her the gifts? But the law is the law, and you can't just keep baby shower gifts hostage.
I didn't even want to be around. So I calmed down and said, you know what? Y'all go ahead and invite her. Let her come.
And Miss Davis, you went.
I went. Me, my sister, and my cousin went to the baby shower. And Your Honor, I didn't get nothing from that baby shower. Nothing. Nothing
It's
came
not
to me.
for you, it's for the baby.
Everything came to him. The baby stayed with me. I should have got the stuff that came to my house. All the stuff went to his house. And I.
So all the gifts that were given to the baby at the baby shower.
The back and forth in this courtroom is like a tennis match on steroids. They're arguing about who said what, who's been sleeping with whom, and who's been there for the baby. It's like an episode of Maury with a side of Jerry Springer.
Gave gifts to the baby, but because you say you weren't certain whether or not the child was yours, you decided not to give the gifts to her,
Yes,
to
Your
the
Honor.
baby.
Yes, Your Honor. And at the same time, anywhere I go, I was gonna have to take the gifts to her because she had a car full of her friends and anything. So she didn't have nowhere to put the gifts.
But you admit you took
Yes,
them.
I took them to my house. I took the gifts to my house.
Did you ever get those gifts, Miss Davis?
No, I didn't get nothing.
And let's not forget the baby's complexion. Mr. Ham throws out this gem. He's not sure he's the dad because the baby's skin tone is changing. He even says the baby doesn't look like either of them, so it must look like the real father. I mean, come on!
Often asked in this courtroom, do you feel like the baby resembles you?
No, I do not.
You don't?
No, I do not. It's quite a few guys who I might think about, because all the guys she messed with is light-skinned except this one guy, he's dark-skinned. And like I said, the baby is light-skinned. So the dark-skinned guy, he out the picture, but at the same time, she was still messing with him during the same time she was messing with me. So it's kind of hard to put him out the picture too. And then see, the baby's starting to get darker too.
It's time for the DNA results. The courtroom is silent. Everyone's on the edge of their seats, and Mr. Ham is sweating bullets. Will he be the father, or will he be off the hook for those baby shower gifts and a lifetime of diaper duty? Will Miss Davis get the last laugh, or will Mr. Ham be doing a victory dance?
Mr. Ham, you are Jarrell's father.
Like I said, I don't have no problem with stepping up, but at the same time, I can't be in this child's life if she's trying to control me with this child.
First up, we've got Mr. Peebles, who tied the knot with Mrs. Peebles on April Fool's Day. Talk about a sign, right? But 2 years down the line, he's convinced that the only fool is him. He's doubting he's the daddy of their 20-month-old daughter, Mariah, and he's stuck on the birth certificate like gum on a shoe.
Mr. Peebles, you say you married the defendant, Mrs. Peebles, on April Fool's Day 2 years ago, but since then you've been played for a fool. You claim you are not her 20-month-old daughter, Amira's biological father, and are stuck on the birth certificate until today's results prove you are not her dad. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then there's Mrs. Peebles, who's throwing the shade right back at her hubby, claiming he's the one who's been playing her with lies and empty promises. She's demanding that he step up to the plate and stop running from daddy duty.
So what is the nature of you guys' relationship? How did this begin?
How we met is through a friend of a friend. We went to a club and we was introduced like that.
So, Ann,
Ann?
somehow you ended up married. What happened?
He wanted to be with me. When he went away, he made it real clear he wanted to be with me. So I took initiative and say, okay, we're gonna make this a relationship. And I've been there from day one.
Now, Mr. Peebles spills the beans that he thinks his wife is conniving, bossy, and insecure. Ouch! If it's true, that's a combo that'll make anyone run for the hills. But wait, there's more! Mrs. Peebles admits she did cheat on Mr. Peebles, but only because he cheated first. It's like a game of tag, but with cheating.
He's fooling me, deceiving me, saying he loved me. He don't really love me.
Do you love him, Mr. Peebles?
Yeah, I love her, but this is just like a stopping point right now.
Now, he claimed I was cheating on him, which I'm gonna be honest, I did. It's because he cheated on me first.
Mr. Peebles, how did you find out about all this?
The day before my birthday, we got into it.
And here's where it gets juicy. Mr. Peebles calls his wife on his birthday, and another dude answers, claiming he was chilling with his baby. I mean, can you imagine? That's like unwrapping a birthday gift and finding a box of spiders.
So on your birthday, you said you're gonna go out and have some fun.
Without me.
Without
What
you.
I'm supposed to do? To stay in
And
the
then
house.
how does it get to the point where you find out, Miss Peebles, your wife is cheating?
I called her phone.
And what
I
happened?
called my
I
phone.
called her phone and he answered her
You a
phone and
lie.
say, I'm chilling with my baby.
What?
Exactly
That's
what
a
he
lie.
said.
Judge, how he found out is when we came home that Sunday, I told him.
But hold up! Mrs. Peebles says that's a lie, and she only got with the other guy because Mr. Peebles ditched her to celebrate his own birthday. Talk about a party pooper. Now let's do some math. Mrs. Peebles finds out she's pregnant in November, 2 months after her hubby's birthday bash fiasco. The timing is as sus as a cat next to a broken vase.
Sleeping with him, but I used protection with this guy. I was sleeping with him unprotected.
Okay, you say you use birth control, you use a condom. Well, we know that's not 100% effective. Is that the only time you slept with that guy?
Maybe a week after that, but like I said, protected sex.
1 week after?
Yes, Your Honor.
And just when you think it can't get any crazier, a mystery man showed up at their door, hurling insults and claiming he's been paying Mrs. Peebles' bills. That's right, another potential baby daddy enters the scene. But wait, there's a twist! Mr. Peebles has another baby on the way with a different woman, and Mrs. Peebles is not having it. She's airing out all their dirty laundry, including how he's not even friends with her on Facebook, but he's all cozy with the other woman.
Somebody else came to my door. I look at her. She look at me, like who can that be? Most people call before they come. Go to the door, it's a dude at the door. She behind me. All type of names to her. So I couldn't tolerate the disrespect.
What you mean all type of names?
Well, curse words.
Oh, the guy was cursing at the wife?
And telling her, like, I took care of you.
Which he did, because he was never around.
The plot thickens when Mrs. Peebles reveals she's pregnant again. And this time, she doesn't know who the daddy is. It's like a daytime soap opera, but you can't change the channel. The judge is trying to make sense of this hot mess, and honestly, so are we. They're talking about cutting grass and tracking phones, and we're just here with our popcorn.
Well, woman,
Nag.
don't nag. Of course, I'm a nag because you're not there for me.
Put
I've been there for you for 4
put
years,
trackers
Bernardo.
on cars, on my phone.
Track, yup.
Cut the phone off.
I sure did. I'm paying for it.
Come on, man.
I'm paying
Was
for
she
it.
paying for the phone bill?
Yes,
I do it all.
Do you
Your
have a
Honor.
job, Mr. Peebles?
I had a job.
But he quits it. He quits. He quits. So that means I take care of everything.
And finally, the moment of truth arrives. The judge reads the DNA results, and let me tell you, the courtroom was so quiet you could hear a pin drop.
Mr. Peebles, you are the father.
God helping me out. I ain't dumb. And you making it feel like I'm the fool. I'm deceiving you. You deceived me from day one.
All right, let's set the stage. We've got Miss Reeves and Mr. Silva, two folks caught in a storm of drama, doubt, and some seriously questionable logic. Miss Reeves marched into court, baby in tow, to prove that Mr. Silva is the father of her 7-month-old son, Legend. And Mr. Silva? Well, he's convinced there's no way he's the dad.
Ms. Reeves, you are here today to prove that the defendant, Mr. Silva, is the biological father of your 7-month-old son, Legend. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Silva, you were involved in a paternity case on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta in support of your sister, who took a DNA test to prove paternity of her child.
Now, Mr. Silva is no stranger to paternity drama. He's been in the hot seat before, supporting his sister in her own paternity case. But this time, he's the one under the microscope, and his reasons for doubt are, let's just say, unique and not in a good way.
I feel like she's tricking me into believing that I'm Legend's father. I grew up loving women, loving sex.
You grew up loving sex.
To me, I always felt like it was okay for men to go out, have sex, and cheat, come home to their family, and women can't go out, have sex, and come home, and especially with a baby. Trying to say that I'm his father.
So Miss Reeves is adamant that Silva is the dad, but Silva, he's got a different story. He thinks it's perfectly fine for men to cheat, but women? Oh no, big no-no. That's right, folks. He actually said, God created men to conquer. I mean, what century are we in? Is this an episode of Game of Thrones? Silva was digging his own grave as everyone watched.
It's okay for men to go outside of the relationship to cheat, but not okay for women to do the same.
Yes, Your Honor.
You aren't the only
right.
man that feels like that.
Well, Your Honor, I feel
Every
like,
man feels like that.
God created men to conquer, to overrule, and women cannot empower. Women cannot empower men.
What are we on, Game of Thrones?
You see what I do with every day.
Oh, what are we talking about?
Now the plot thickens when we find out that Miss Reeves was texting her ex while with Silva. Red flag alert! But wait, there's more. She changed her phone password too. Silva caught her, and that's when the trust train derailed. But we can't really go too hard on her when Mr. Silva believes that it's his God-given right to cheat, can we?
Soon as I told him that I was pregnant, he was like, okay, with who?
Your Honor, we were broken up for 4 weeks, Your Honor. I called her texting her ex.
And is that why you broke up?
Yes, Your Honor.
When you
I
confronted
confronted
her
her
with it?
about texting her ex. This ain't, I caught them texting multiple times, and she claims they're just friends. And I had it. One day I just decided to try to go on her phone, and she changed her password on me.
But here's where it gets juicy. They broke up for a month, and when they got back together, bam, she was pregnant. Silva's doing the math, and it's just not adding up for him. He's thinking maybe she had too much fun while they were on a break.
And that's what's hard, because a lot of women will say, well, he was out doing this, that, and the third. I said, I know, but I need to know what this, that, and the third you were doing. Because that's really the bottom line. Right. So if you're texting your ex, changing your passcode, and then you all are broken up, and you then say to him, I'm pregnant, I can see that he might have some doubt as to who you may have been having sex with during the window of conception.
Fast forward to the birth of baby Legend. Silva's there in the delivery room, feeling the pressure with all of Miss Reeves' family around. So what does he do? He signs the birth certificate. That's right, he put his name down, even with all those doubts swirling in his head.
Be there at the hospital when the baby
Yes, and
is born.
throughout the whole time I'm telling her I want a DNA test. In the hospital, none but her family was there. I was by myself. I came in. As soon as the Legend was born, the doctor came in the room, straight to me and gave me the paper. I didn't want to make her look bad. So
And
I just,
so you signed the birth certificate?
yes, I just felt, I felt pressure to sign.
Now let's talk about this little one, legend. Mr. Silva has been there since day one, buying clothes and being a dad, but he's still telling everyone and their mother that he's not the father. Talk about mixed signals. But wait, it gets even more dramatic. Miss Reeves gets a message from another woman claiming she and Silva were an item too. And what does Silva say? That he was just being grimy. Oh, Silva, you sly dog, you!
So, Mr. Silva, I see you have a smirk on your face, so we already know you lying.
As usual.
Yeah, Your Honor,
Did you tell this woman that she was pregnant, but she didn't know who the father of her child was?
Your Honor, I told her that she was pregnant, and I told her that she wasn't pregnant by me, you know, but the whole thing, I just said that out of, you know, just being grimy.
Judge Lake is trying to make sense of this mess. She's telling Silva he's got to shape up or ship out. And Miss Reeves, she's got to stand up for herself and not let Silva walk all over her. It's a tough love session in the courtroom, folks. And just like that, the moment of truth was here. The results were in. Would Silva be crowned the conquering dad? Or would Miss Reeves have to start a whole new chapter?
Mr. Silva, you are the father.
Now, I'm sorry, and you know, I did have my doubt with Legend, but I know that he's my son.